Welcome to the Digital Maddy Show. This is a platform where I share my knowledge on video creation, how to generate organic traffic, and how to make sales through video making. I also invite many influencers and digital marketers on this show and extract their secrets of their business. Let's get started with your host. Hi, my name is Mithyl and I'm a YouTube and video podcast expert, and I help aspiring video influencers to generate organic traffic and make sales through video making. We have an amazing guest on our show. He is a self-empowerment coach and he's going to give us awesome tips today of how to empower yourself. He's already into the studio. Let's welcome him. So let's welcome on the show Naveen. So let me introduce him. He is a self-empowerment coach. He empowers students, employees, and business owners overcome challenges in their lives by enabling them to go deep within. So welcome Naveen to the Digital Maddy Show.
Thank you so much, Mithyl. Pleasure is all mine in being in your show. Thanks for featuring me.
Happy to have you, sir, here. So Naveen, let me ask you one of my favorite questions. Can you share one of your favorite quote or a line that motivates you on a daily basis?
Oh yeah, of course. This is a line I came across when I was in 12th. It said, luck is nothing but the meeting point of your alertness and the passing by opportunities. And I learned a lot when I heard the phrase the first time, and I have carried it with me all along. And it's also there in my website under my story section. So that's my favorite, and it's very true and practical. Whenever I've implemented it, it has always given me that encouragement and positivity to go ahead.
Absolutely. I strongly believe what you just said. So, Naveen, all the people who are trying to listen to this episode, would you like to share your backstory to them?
Oh yeah, of course. I am, in my 12th, I was a science student and did not know that science is a field for me. Entered it just because friends were entering. There was a combination called PCMB, which is physics, chemistry, maths, biology. I did not even know the expansion of PCMB. I just joined because some of my classmates who were there in 10th joined. So, and then it took me, you've been a teacher, Mithyl, so probably you can relate to it. It took me a week to understand what theta means. Can you beat that? So that's how things were when I was in science. But later I moved into finance. I tried to do chartered accountancy because science, I did, quite well there. Having seen some failures, I overcame it, put in some hard work, fared well in my 12th, but wanted to make a career in finance. Joined a CA course, did it successfully well, cleared halfway through, by which time I had established interest in developing relationship with clients when I was doing audit and all of that. Post that, I got into business while doing CA. Actually, CA, I did enter, could not clear final, but then I got into MBA and did my PhD in consumer behavior. That's as far as the qualification is concerned. But when I could not finish my CA, I was into business. I was into coaching and training of computer accountancy. At that time, this is back in 2003 when accounts were all done manually, very less of accounting packages. There were some known packages like Tally and all of that. So I was reselling Tally, training in Tally, and also had two institutes of my own. I had taken a franchisee. Did it well for 3 years. Then someone suggested that you have a flair for IT. Though you have not been a science student or not been an engineer, you have a flair for information technology. Why don't you get into mainstream? So then I joined hands with one of the reseller of a multinational software company called Borland. Borland is the company name. The reseller was Orpheus. I joined hands with him, wherein I became a consultant. I was a technical guy and a sales guy doing everything. I traveled all over my state, Karnataka, and trying to sell that software. But then Borland saw me picking up the technology really well, and they gave me an offer that there is an opening, would you like to join? So that's how I got into mainstream IT, joining Borland on their roles. And then it was totally a change in my career. from being a finance guy into an IT guy. So it was pre-sales. So then onwards, it was all pre-sales. The rest of my career, I've been a pre-sales guy. So from Borland, I went into Micro Focus, which had acquired that company. I was a pre-sales guy there. Then it was more of software testing field. So I wanted to try something into production. Joined a company called CompuWare, again a pre-sales guy, successfully fulfilled all my responsibilities there. One key aspect was customer relationship building, which was always an asset of mine, wherein customers and also my colleagues used to prefer me as a pre-sales guy in deals. And from there, Micro Focus said there is an all India pre-sales manager's role. Do you want to come back? And I said, yeah, of course, why not? And I went back to Micro Focus, became head of pre-sales India of Micro Focus, which is a British multinational company and sells software testing tools and also mainframe modernization solutions. Stayed there for 6 years, been a manager, learned a lot, unlearned a lot. And then in 2019 June, I had to exit because of some of the reasons which were happening, some of the developments which were happening in the company. But later, rest became altogether a different world for me. And last 1 year, whatever I have achieved so far on my own with my self-empowerment methodologies has made me come in front of you in this interview, Mithyl.
Awesome. Your story is really inspiring, and I can see you as a fighter and overcoming each obstacle and trying to convert a coal into a diamond. Awesome. So
thank you so much.
Absolutely. So Naveen, since you say you are an empowerment coach, so can you share what is self-empowerment?
Of course, self-empowerment is the first and the foremost basic aspect would be to bring in that consciousness that I can do it myself. That is self-empowerment. People usually, when they hit a challenge or a difficulty or a problem, anything, these days, Mithyl, it has become such that people prefer to be in a comfort zone, in a cocoon, okay? And they would want others to help them out when they are a bit out of the comfort zone or when they're in a difficulty. So you should bring in that consciousness that I can do it myself. Help you can take from somebody else. Nobody can stop you. But first, become conscious that I am empowered to overcome any challenge or difficulty, and then certainly you can do it. So that is self-empowerment.
Wow, that's pretty awesome. So Naveen, how did you become a self-empowerment coach?
Sure. So as I was telling you, for 6 years, I was a manager in my company, and I was heading a team of around 9 people. And before that, I was an individual contributor, and I always believed in this concept that I should do it myself. Whatever work it is, home or office, I should do it myself rather than asking somebody else to do it or rather than instructing somebody else to do it. When I became a manager, for me to be a successful manager, I could not be doing everything myself, right? So I had to delegate some of the duties and responsibilities to my team. So it so happened that I did it on my own. The managerial aspects, I learned them on my own. By trial and error methods, there were some of the aspects where I had to trip and did some mistakes. But yeah, as you know, Mithyl, we learn from our mistakes. So that was also there as a part of my managerial journey. So when I was imparting the ways of executing their responsibilities to my team members, they liked my style, because I have always believed that a manager should tune into the frequency of the team member. One team member has one frequency in one certain megahertz. Another team member has another frequency. So it's the responsibility and prime duty of the manager to tune into those frequencies. Before he or she tunes in, they have to understand what is that frequency. So this is what I was doing. And my team was able to resonate with what I was saying. They were able to relate to my style, and I started guiding them. So my team, and I have a lot of cousins in this journey. When I was a manager, there are many people in my personal life and professional life. They started coming to me for guidance. Naveen, the pointers, the hints, the tips, and the tricks which you give are really very practical and very unique. They help us a lot. And that's when I realized that I have it in me, that if I advise somebody and they respectfully implement the advice, it actually works for them. So when I had to exit my corporate job in June 2019, of course, one option was for me to go on hunt another job, and other option was to go with my passion. So as I said, Mithyl, I always believed in self-empowerment. When I lost my job exactly a year back, I did not go to anybody seeking, oh, please help me, I've lost my job, here's my CV, do you see an opening here or do you see an opening there? I just sat and thought, this is something, it can be a message from the universe that this particular incident has happened wherein I had to exit my job. And first, I brought in a consciousness in me that I have to find a solution on my own rather than seeking help from somebody else. So I said, whatever happens, happens for the good. That's the first thing what I said to myself. That kind of eased me a bit. This takes a bit time. It's not that anybody who says this will work, but if you say it with utmost commitment to yourself, it certainly helps. And that's what I did. And it was very mechanical for me to prepare my CV and hunt for a job, which I did. I did float my CV, and there were a few interviews which came in. Most of the places, they said I'm overqualified for the job because of the experience and the previous positions I've held. But then I always had this passion of guiding people, mentoring people, and coaching people. I found out there are a few certifications out there and completed those certifications as and how parallelly I was looking for a job. After finishing certifications, I did on a trial basis, I coached a few of my known people, relatives and friends. They said, wow, this is something which I've never done before. How did you do that? So that was a confirmation to me that my methodologies really work and have been of value to people. Few months later, Mithyl, I took a call that, yes, what I said earlier when I lost the job, that whatever happens for the good, whatever happens, happens for the good. And this is good, which has already started happening. And I saw that there were many life coaches out there, but I wanted to bring in uniqueness, and self-empowerment coach was something which I have always believed and which was something which was not out there. And that's how I became a self-empowerment coach and started coaching many people, and people are joining my program Empowerment for Excellence every day. And with everybody's best wishes, it's going well now.
Wow. So first of all, congratulations, Naveen, for self-empowering yourself. So
Thank you.
1 year back, when you lost your job and the universe was trying to send a message, so you were all alone and was trying to self-empower yourself, Naveen. So the next question is going to be beneficial to a lot of people who are listening to this episode.
Mhm.
What methodologies should one adopt to get self-empowered?
Sure, Mithyl. Before I get into methodology, there's one more thing people will have to say. Apart from bringing a consciousness of self-empowerment, they also have to look for the support system which is there. Okay. One is, it can be the savings, and most importantly, family. They they provide a platform for you to go ahead and see to it that you can self-empower yourself. Coming to methodologies which I have researched on and tried it on myself, and also made it as a part of my curriculum of my coaching program, people will always have to aim for peak performance. Okay, that's why I named my program Empowerment for Excellence. It can be a small thing of passing a glass of water to somebody, or passing a mobile phone to somebody, or even exchanging pleasantries, it has to be done excellently well. Okay, so when you concentrate on peak performance in these small aspects, when you pass on a glass of water, you don't drip water and make it wetty and then pass on it, right? You pass on a dry glass of water in a very humble manner. That is doing it excellently. It can be a very small activity, but excellent is a very big term, but they can fit in if you practice it well, right? So you always have to aim for peak performance, whatever you do, small or big, right? And when you are trying to do anything in your life, it can be getting ready for a presentation, it can be getting ready for an interview or an exam, or trying to launch a new business, stress is bound to be the parcel of all of this. It's a given. It's not a brainer anymore. Everybody knows that whenever you're trying to do something new or fresh with all the josh, you have the encouragement, but stress does creep in. So stress management is another aspect where you have to do many simple things. First thing is to just keep the stress away. There are many methodologies which it can be done. Meditation is one of them, and meditation need not be spiritual all the time. Meditation does play a lot of influential role when it comes to stress management. Time management is really important. We say that I got up in the morning, I got on a call, I could not take bath, it's already lunchtime, I did not have proper lunch, I had to rush back to a call, and it's evening 6 o'clock and I'm still not taken bath. Things like that. That's what that happens, that leads to stress again. And that restricts you from peak performance. So time management is really important. There are many, again, simple methods of managing the time. That's really important. And mindfulness, as I said before, you have to be conscious of what you're doing and what you're not doing. Bring in that mindfulness, become self-aware of what you're saying and what you're doing. It's as simple as that. And also be socially aware of what's happening around you. We can also say that in broader sense, it can be called as emotional intelligence. It's really important because it just takes a second for anybody to just lose their cool and start yelling at people. You can spoil other people's day. It can be your colleagues, your friends, or your family. What have they done for you to lose your cool on them? Right? So become emotionally intelligent, become self-aware, and also become aware of the surroundings, which is keeping an eye on you and your behavior. So that is really important when it comes to emotional intelligence. Moving on, Mithyl, you would be very interested and also surprised to know that in my research, I found that there are ancient methodologies which people have been using thousands and thousands of years back on life transformation. Okay, especially our Vedas. They have played a big role in the lives of people, can be individuals, and also in the lives of society and civilization. So those are also some of the important aspects. Many people can learn from Vedas. It's easily available online, and Vedas are available also in the libraries. Thereby, by paying attention to all these methodologies which are listed, one has to build a success attainment framework, a proper framework, their own framework. My framework can be different from your framework, or a person who's listening. There are many people who would be watching this episode. So each and every person's framework is different, but you have to build your own framework, which ultimately works. It's not that my framework can work for you and yours for me. So be very strong and aware and mindful, smart and intelligent in building a smart framework which works every time. So whenever you have a challenge or whenever you have to achieve a peak performance or achieve success, just use this framework, put those aspects in the framework, and it just works really well, and everything would be a piece of cake.
Wow, this is awesome. This is really awesome. The points and the methodologies that you covered, they're really so valuable. And I think if people inculcate this, all the things that you just said, I think it will be very easy for them to, like these values created a bridge between feeling lonely and becoming self-empowered. So thank you so much,
Yes.
Naveen, for sharing this valuable information. And there's one thing I would like to ask. This is my personal question, Naveen. Can anyone get self-empowered, or only certain categories of people are blessed to become empowered?
Or anybody can become self-empowered, Mithil. See, if I can just take a minute to answer that question. If you look at animals, Mithil, all are self-empowered. You look at any animal, you can look at the cat which is out there, you can look at a dog, or you can look at the lion and the tiger. They're all self-empowered. Okay. But we as humans, because of the comfort and the changing lifestyle over these many years, and especially the modern day lifestyle, has made us resist from coming out of the comfort zone, as I said before. So that way, any living thing, any human being can get self-empowered. One thing, only one rule is become conscious and mindful of the power you have within, which has been packaged to you at your birth by nature. Just become aware of that power which lies deep within. Go inside yourself, look at that power, bring it out, and that's nothing but self-empowerment. Anybody can do it.
This is so simple. The metaphors that you used, and the real examples that in the animal world, almost each one of them are self-empowered, and technically human beings are also social animals. So even technically nature has built us to become self-empowered, and we became so self-empowered, Naveen, if you go back to the history, from the invention of the fire to the wheel to
Yes.
the internet world. So we have self empowered ourselves in this entire journey. So this is really valuable, Naveen. Thank you so much for this. So all the people who are listening to this episode, Naveen, if they want to connect with you, how can they do that?
Sure. I have my own website, Mithil. It's www.naveenguru.com. So anybody who wants to connect with me and wants to get self-empowered, they can visit this website. I also have my own YouTube channel where I've been sharing a lot of amazing content on self-empowerment. It's called Empowerment for Excellence. The link, they would get it on website. So a very simple and a easy method would be to just visit naveenguru.com and they'll get all the details.
Wow. So all the links are available below. Anyone who's trying to listen to this particular episode, you can just click on the link and you can get the things done. So Naveen, before we end this particular session, would you like to say something to our viewers?
Sure, Mithil. The time of this interview, we are in the midst of COVID problem worldwide, right? And there are a lot of challenges, known challenges, unknown challenges, which many people have been facing: students, employees, business owners, housewives, all of them. My just one simple message to all those people who fall in any of these categories and are watching this video is, whenever the challenge hits you, do not worry, because worry is something which comes in naturally, but you have to be mature in order not to worry. But do certainly think. Okay, worrying and thinking are two different aspects if you come to look at it in detail, Mithil. So what people usually do is they start tending to worry. Oh my God, this happened. What shall I do? Do not worry. Rather, you can drink a glass of water, or you can take a deep breath. Just think and think and think. I can bet on anything, you will certainly hit a solution. It's just a matter of time. It can be within one day or maybe a little more than a day. But if you think deep, you'll certainly get a solution. So please do not worry, but certainly do think.
Awesome. Awesome, Naveen. Thank you so much for giving so much value on the show, on this episode. And all the people who are listening will also be really grateful for the tips that you have given for them to become self-empowered and try to create a mark in the universe. Awesome, Naveen. Thank you so much for it.
Pleasure's been all mine, Mithil. It was wonderful discussing all these aspects. Thanks to you for asking such wonderful questions, which made me actually bring out all the information and all the values which I myself have used. So it was really an amazing experience spending these many minutes with you on this episode. Thank you once again.
Happy to have you here, and it's our honor. So you have just listened to the Digital Maddy Show with your host Mithyl Dave with an amazing guest, Naveen. He just shared lots of values on self-empowerment. So do listen to this episode and click all the links which are available below in the description and connect to him and know more from him and learn self-empowerment and be strong in your life. So thank you so much, Naveen, for sharing awesome values on this particular episode. And all the viewers, if you are watching this video on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon. And if you are listening to the podcast, don't forget to subscribe to Spotify or to Apple Podcast. Thank you so much, Naveen, for being on the show. It was our honor to have you on the show and providing all the values. Thank you so much once again.
Thank you for the opportunity. Namaste.